מלאך שנגע בך, ממנו אנו מבקשים, ממנו אנו מבקשים. לא לא לא, תחזיר לנו אותו. לא לא לא, זה בכלל לא הזמן שלו. לא לא לא, תחזיר לנו אותו. לא לא לא, זה בכלל לא הזמן שלו. ביקשת שאקדיש לך שיר, אולי רק פזמון, לא מוכשר עד כדי כך, מקווה שאהבת את הניסיון. אהובה, איך השלג צנח כאן הלילה רומנטי מאוד, כמה פתיתים לך רציתי לשלוח במכתב האחרון. אל תבכי בגללי, אני כאן מחייך מרצון. תשמרי על עצמך בשבילי, תשמרי על ירון. היום לאבא יש יום הולדת, תמסרי לו שאוהב המון. שלך משה הבן אבות בלבנון. ביקשת שאקדיש לך שיר, אולי רק פזמון, לא מוכשר עד כדי כך, מקווה שאהבת את הניסיון. אל תבכי בגללי, אני כאן מחייך מרצון. תשמרי על עצמך בשבילי, תשמרי על ירון. היום לאבא יש יום הולדת, תמסרי לו שאוהב המון. שלך משה הבן אבות. היום לאבא יש יום הולדת, תמסרי לו שאוהב המון. שלך משה הבן אבות בלבנון.
שלבד יושב וכותב לך מכתב על כל הדברים שהיו, כל מה שקרה בדיוק, אותיות מופיעות על הקיר, אני הפחד נעים להכיר, הדמויות אוהבות לשחק, זזות כאן בבית הריק, ואת לא יודעת כמה ממך ניסיתי להסתיר את כל הסיוטים בלילה, צרחות ודם על המדים, את לא מבינה כבר למה אני מזמן כבר לא אני, תמונות רצות מאותו לילה, דמעות כאב של לוחמים, זה ערב ראשון שאת שם, אני שוכב וחושב לא נרדם, השקט לאט מתנגן, מקדיש לך עכשיו שיר בלי שם, שיר בלי שם, ואת לא יודעת כמה ממך ניסיתי להסתיר את כל הסיוטים בלילה, צרחות ודם על המדים, את לא מבינה כבר למה אני מזמן כבר לא אני, תמונות רצות מאותו לילה, דמעות כאב של לוחמים, שלבד יושב וכותב לך מכתב על כל הדברים שהיו, כל מה שקרה בדיוק, אותיות מופיעות על הקיר, אני הפחד נעים להכיר, הדמויות אוהבות לשחק, זזות כאן בבית הריק, ואת לא יודעת כמה ממך ניסיתי להסתיר את כל הסיוטים בלילה, צרחות ודם על המדים, את לא מבינה כבר למה אני מזמן כבר לא אני, תמונות רצות מאותו לילה, דמעות כאב של לוחמים, זה ערב ראשון שאת שם, אני שוכב וחושב לא נרדם, השקט לאט מתנגן, מקדיש לך עכשיו שיר בלי שם, שיר בלי שם. ואת לא יודעת כמה ממך ניסיתי להסתיר את כל הסיוטים בלילה, צרחות ודם על המדים. את לא מבינה כבר למה אני מזמן כבר לא אני. תמונות רצות מאותו לילה, דמעות קר של לוחמים. עצוב ושונה כאן, הייתי מוסיף לתאר רק שאתה לא מוכן. רצית רק שנשמח איך שידעת להיות כל הזמן. יותר פעמיים תגלה לנו איך אפשר לחייך גם כשקשה עדיין, כמו שחייכת ושמחת ושימחת תמיד כל אחד כל הזמן. אבל מה שבטוח שטוב לך שם, ואת כל הכבוד הראוי בעולם מגישים לך למעלה, אחרת לא היית מוסיף לחייך אליי ביום ובלילה כל הזמן. תמכת ואהבת ודאגת תמיד לכל אחד כל הזמן. לך שם ואת כל הכבוד הראוי בעולם מגישים לך לחייך אליי ביום ובלילה כל הזמן, ביום ובלילה כל הזמן. שבטוח שטוב לך שמה, ואת כל הכבוד הראוי בעולם מגישים לך למעלה, אחרת לא היית מוסיף לחייך אליי ביום ובלילה כל הזמן, ביום ובלילה כל הזמן.
When they close the doors.
He's gonna give us.
Welcome! Before we begin, I would like to ask you all to please turn off all cell phones and clear the aisles, as they will be in use throughout the program this evening.
ערב טוב, קהל נכבד. אנחנו שמחים ומתרגשים לראות את כולכם, ומודים לכם על השתתפותכם בטקס המעבר מיום הזיכרון ליום העצמאות ה-71 של מדינת ישראל.
It is our pleasure to welcome you tonight to our annual Yom HaZikaron and Yom Ha'atzmaut commemoration ceremony.
Tonight, we and all of Am Yisrael conclude a day of remembrance and mourning for the many brave men and women who gave their lives for the creation and continued protection of the State of Israel.
Please rise as Itai Elbaum, one of our Kolel Bachurim, lowers the flag to half-mast and remain standing silently while we listen to the siren.
Please remain standing as Rabbi Topolowski, Rabbi Kila, leads us in saying Yizkor, the memorial prayer, and Chazan Isser leads us in saying Kamalei Rachamim.
As we recite Yizkor, let's first remember Israel's MIAs, Ran Arad, Tzvi Feldman, Guy Chever, Yehuda Katz, Oron Shaul, and Hadar Golden. Let us pray that they have the closure and the comfort their families deserve, the comfort that the family of Zechariah Baumel, in a painful way, merited just a few weeks ago. Yizkor Elohim, join with me. Et banav uvnotav הנאמנים, האמיצים, חיילי צבא הגנה לישראל, וכל לוחמי המחתרות וחטיבות הלוחמים, במערכות העם, ואנשי קהילות המודיעין, הביטחון, המשטרה ושירות בתי הסוהר, אשר חרפו נפשם במלחמה על תקומת ישראל, וכל מי שנרצחו בארץ ומחוצה לה בידי מרחצים ארגוני הטרור. יזכור ישראל ויתברך, מזרעו ויבל על זיו הלאומים וחמדת הגיבורה וקדושת הרצון ומסירות הנפש של הנספים המערכה הכבדה. יהיו חיילי המערכות ישראל עטורי הניצחון, חתומים בלב ישראל לדור דור, ונאמר אמן. May Hashem remember our brothers and sisters who gave their lives to ensure the existence of the state of Israel. Am Yisrael Chai.
Hey, Rachamim, Shochen b'medoyimim, Hametzei menucha nechona, Al kanefei השכינה במעלות קדושים טהורים וגיבורים כזר הרקיע הם מאירים ומזהירים לנשמות הקדושים שנלחמו בכל מערכות ישראל במחתרת ובצבא הגנה לישראל ושנפלו במלחמתם ומסרו נפשם על קדושת השם והארץ ולכל מי שנרצחו בארץ ומחוצה לה בידי המרצחים מארגוני הטרור הם עבור שאנו מתפללים אל עילוי נשמותיהם לכן בעל הרחמים יסתירם בסתר כנפיו לעולמים ויצרור בצורכם את נשמותיהם הלינוי ונחלתם בגני עדן מנוחתם וינוחו בשלום על משכבותם ותעמוד לכל ישראל זכותם ויעמדו לגורלם לקץ הימין ונאמר
You may be seated.
$23,741. That is the number of Israeli soldiers who gave their lives while defending and securing the state of Israel. Tonight, we also daven for the full recovery of Nathaniel Felber, who was a Berman student that made Aliyah and was severely wounded during his service in Sahel.
So many of these people only had a brief time to say goodbye to their families and then left their homes to fight wars against Israel's enemies. Their families anxiously awaited their return home, but sadly, they never came.
Instead, there was a knock on their doors. Behind it stood IDF officers whose faces said it all. They delivered the heartbreaking news.
Our hearts go out to parents who lost their beloved children, children who lost their parents, and families that would never be the same.
No words can describe the awe we feel in front of the Mesirut Nefesh of soldiers from all parts of Israeli society, as well as Jewish men and women from other countries who joined Israel as Chayalim Bodidim. They were not thinking about themselves. Rather, they knew there was a bigger purpose they needed to fulfill. They went to fight a war, putting themselves on the front lines to defend the citizens of Israel.
We will forever be in debt to all of these heroes and their families who we stand with today, commemorating their sacrifice to the Jewish people and the state of Israel.
It's so difficult to communicate like this. It would be so much better if you were home. I had a really good day yesterday. First, I got my math test back, and I got 96. The teacher was so proud of me. Then we went to the movies, and it was so much fun. I can't remember when the last time that I laughed so much was. The movie was so funny. I wish you were able to join us. I'm not complaining. I know that what you're doing is super important, and I tell all of my friends that I'm not angry with you for being in the army all the time. Ima keeps on telling me that you're a true hero and that you're really saving the country. She says that all the important people in the army say that you have a bright future as a career officer, and that maybe one day you'll even become chief of staff. I guess I am proud of you, but I just want you to be home more often. Can you? Love, Maytal.
My dear girl, it was so nice to read your note. Kol hakavod on the math test. I keep on telling you that you're a genius. It's time you start believing me. Also, I wish I was there with you at the movies. I could definitely use a good laugh. I know how difficult it is for you and Ima that I'm away all the time. Ima's too kind. She thinks I'm a hero, but I'm really not. I'm just doing my duty like so many of my friends here. You know, all of us here have families, and we would much rather be at home with them. But if everybody were to say that, no one would be here to defend our homeland. But enough with the Tzionut lecture. It just occurred to me that your birthday's coming up soon. Do you want to choose a present, or do you want me to surprise you? I promise to be home for the party. Love you, Abba.
Abba, everything is going well at home. Ima has a little cold, but nothing serious. Today in class, we learned a speech that was given by one of the commanders during the Yom Kippur War, and I was thinking about you. She said that our state is still young, and we still need to be willing to give everything we can to build it and secure it. We need to give from our time, our minds, our energy, and even our lives. While the teacher was explaining it to us, my friend Shira passed me a note saying, "It sounds as if she's talking about your dad," and I was so proud. Don't get me wrong, I still want you to be home more often, starting with my birthday party. I decided not to choose a present. You can surprise me. Love you, Maytal.
Maytali, how's it going? I was so happy to read about what you're learning in class. It reminded me of what we learned about in school when I was your age. I guess things haven't changed much since, though I think we gave our teachers a much harder time than you give yours. I really hope to make it to your birthday party. As you probably heard on the news, there's some retaliation at the border, and I assume they will want us to be there until things calm down. This may change my plans. I'll update you the minute I know something. Meanwhile, stay safe and take care of Ima. Abba.
I heard the news about the front. They said that there are many clashes between Sahal and the enemy. They drafted even more Miluim. Abba, I'm scared. I don't want you to get hurt. As always, Ima said that there's nothing for me to be worried about, but something in her voice was different. Can't you tell them that you have to come home immediately for your daughter's birthday party? Ima said we have to postpone it now until things get clearer. Why does it always have to be like that? Why can't we just be like a normal family? It's been 18 years since you were killed on duty. I got married and I have 3 children. I named my firstborn after you, and he didn't understand why I couldn't stop crying after hearing him say Abba for the first time. I remember when they came to tell us. At first I cried a lot, but then I realized that it didn't make it easier for Ima or for Saba and Safta, so I decided to be a hero like you and tried not to cry, but I was so sad. Then came the anger. Why didn't you listen to me when I asked you to just be home? Why did you insist on being a hero? I understand you wanted to defend others, but what about me? What about Ima? And that birthday party? I wanted you to surprise me for my birthday, but that wasn't what I had in mind. And then came the understanding. I understood that you really lived by those words you told me. And despite your modesty, you truly were a hero. Your soldiers told us about how they adored you, and they would follow your lead no matter how big the danger was. And above all, they told us how you instilled in them the notion of giving everything, even life itself, so that the children of Medinat Yisrael will be safe and have a future. So you said, and so you did, as did so many soldiers. Abba, I still miss you so much, and I will forever miss you. But with the longing, there's also gratitude, and there's also pride.
Somehow, maybe
I love you, Abba.
Okay, so Baba. Yeah? Okay, great. תודה.
So many families will never recover from this loss. They now gather in the military cemeteries on Yom HaZikaron and silently remember their loved ones. On Yom HaZikaron, we join their families in feeling their pain and loss, as well as draw inspiration from their stories.
In 1951, the Israeli government declared Daled Iyar as Yom HaZikaron. This day commemorates the soldiers that were killed during their service, defending and securing the State of Israel. In 1998, the government also decided to commemorate on this day the Israelis who were murdered in terrorist attacks. Tonight, we stand united with all of Klal Yisrael, remembering the 3,150 Israelis who were murdered only because they were living the Jewish dream in Israel.
Shuli Har-Melech was born in Kochav HaShachar to his parents, Moshe and Tzipora, on Yud Bet B'Tishrei Tav Shin Lamed Tet, October 13, 1978. He was always a happy and warm child who loved helping others and making many friends. After high school, he studied in Hesder Yeshiva and served in the army as a paramedic. Shuli believed passionately in the ideals of Ahavat Yisrael and Ahavat Eretz Yisrael, and devoted his life to living those ideals.
In 2001, on Lag BaOmer, Tav Shin Samech Aleph, Shuli married his beloved fiancée Limor. They decided to move to the very new and diverse yeshuv of Chomesh.
Shuli was the living spirit behind Chomesh. He started a yeshiva, taught in the school, and volunteered as a paramedic and an ambulance driver for Magen David Adom. In Chomesh, they had their first child, Ahuvia Yair.
On Rosh Chodesh Elul, August 29, 2003, Shuli and Limor, who was 7 months pregnant at the time, were on their way to Chomesh from Shuli's parents' house in Kochav HaShachar. They left their son with his grandparents, as they were supposed to be back shortly.
Shuli and Limor left the house and were supposed to be back after a couple of hours. While driving, Shuli turned to Limor and told her how much he loves her and that this would be a good time for their weekly talk, a time that is just theirs, without any phone calls or duties. But then, 5 terrorists got into the road and opened fire at them. Shuli was killed and his wife was severely wounded. A few hours later, she gave birth to a baby girl who will never meet her father.
His childhood was a very happy one in the open fields of Israel. He grew up in a home which taught him the love of Torah and Eretz Israel. In the army, he served as a Hesder soldier, and he was a medical paramedic. After he finished the army, he married Limor. Before leaving our house that morning, he told his son, who was then 1.5 years old, the story of Abraham and Yitzchak, the sacrifice of Yitzchak, that God asked Abraham to sacrifice his son. He explained to him that that was the reason why we started blowing the shofar on Rosh Chodesh Elul. That from that day on, it was embedded in every Jew, the Mesirut Nefesh. On the first day of Elul, Shuli left our house in Kochav HaShachar with his wife Limor on his way to Chomesh. It was a Friday morning at 11 o'clock, and 5 Arabs, without any fear, stood on the road and shot them down. Shuli was killed immediately, and Limor was hurt. Later that afternoon, she gave birth to their daughter, Sarah. Shuli lived his life in Mesirat Nefesh, and he was also killed in Mesirat Nefesh. He loved the Torah and Eretz Israel, and he loved every Jew, just being a Jew. Since then, the family has expanded, and grandchildren have been born. We as a family have tried to continue his way with joy and happiness, and because he was a very happy person, and every place he went, it was contagious. People just saw him and they were also happy. And the place where he was killed, we made a monument. It's a very big Magen David. And on it is written, Al Yisrael Chai. And that is the message that we try to carry on.
A terror attack doesn't only take the life of a victim. Rather, it changes the life of his family forever. After such a horrible loss, life will never be the same. Nevertheless, the Har Melech family were living the words of Torah. V'acharta b'chaim.
With the help of Mishpacha Echad, one family, an organization that supports and helps families of terror victims, they were able to find ways of coping with the new painful reality and carry on.
In the back cover of your programs, you can find a QR code to one family's website where you can learn more about them and show your support to their noble cause.
Matanya Har Melech, one of our Torah Mitzion Kolo Bachurim, is Shuli's brother. He was 8 years old when his brother was murdered. We would like to invite Matanya to share his feelings with us on this Yom HaZikaron.
Bereavement is like a hole, like a small black void that nothing can ever fill. A bereaved family is like a regular family, just one that has a small black hole that cannot be filled. That small hole accompanies you everywhere in your life. It is there in moments of joy, and it is there in moments of crisis. It accompanies you like a little brother who was always there when you were growing up, a little brother you played with and fought with, a brother you learned to live with in the same room, a brother you consulted with before making any decision in your life. Even as you grow up, he remains a little brother who never gets older. 15 years ago, when I was a child, God took one brother away from me and gave me another in the form of a small black hole who has accompanied me since then. Even now, tonight, he is here in this room, but you cannot see him because he is here in my heart. Tonight, he is a little sad and a little lonely. He wants to be held. He wants someone to dry his tears. He wants to hope that someday it will hurt a little bit less and that better, happier days will come soon. Every year, this little black hole is my little brother. But this year is yours too. Tonight, we're all united as one big family. Tonight, let us all daven as one.
This is probably the most difficult part of the evening, the transition from Yom HaZikaron to Yom Ha'atzmaut. Our hearts go out to the bereaved families, and in just a short time, our hearts will be filled with joy, happiness, and gratitude to HaKadosh Baruch Hu for the state of Israel. We must emotionally digest in a few minutes what history takes years and years to do. This in a nutshell is the story of the state of Israel. Just a couple of years after the Holocaust, we had rose from the ashes and gained our independence. The survivors became those who proudly held a weapon and fought for their own state. And as the war of independence ended, the very soldiers who fought in the battlefields became those who, with a heart full of hope, replaced their weapons with plows and hammers, raised families, started schools, and built the land. In the words of David HaMelech, Ba'erev yalin bechi, ve'laboker rina. And thus, Yom HaZikaron and Yom Ha'atzmaut are always together. We begin our celebrations of independence with mourning for our soldiers, and we end our mourning for our soldiers with celebrating our independence. There isn't a way to explain how we do it. We just do. Ki ozi v'zimrat ka Adonai vayehi li liyishuah. HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives us the strength to rise from the sadness of Yom HaZikaron and celebrate our Atzmaut. Baruch Ata Hashem HaMavdil Ben Yagon L'Simcha. Blessed are you, Hashem, for creating a distinction between desperation and hope, between being scattered among the nations and having our home in our holy land, between grief and joy, between the first fragile years of the state and this 71st birthday of the amazing, strong, and wonderful Jewish state, between hundreds and hundreds of years in which Jerusalem was empty of Jews, and today, when children are playing joyfully in the streets of Yerushalayim, between mourning for the past and celebrating our future, between looking back with tears and looking forward with joy, between Yom HaZikaron and Yom Ha'atzmaut, Baruch Ata Hashem HaMavdil Ben Kodesh LeKodesh.
מה יהיה עוד יום עכשיו אבל אני מסתגף ובלעד להמשך כי יש לי אמונה לפעמים מרגישים שהחיים כל כך קשים מה יהיה עוד יום שנה אבל אני מסתגף ובלעד להמשך כי יש לי אמונה אני יודע שיש אלוקים והוא בורא עולם, הכוח של כולם שומע את קולי. אני מאמין בניסים, אני יודע שיש אלוקים והוא בורא עולם, הכוח של כולם ישלח לי את הנס, ישלח לי את הנס שלי.
Should we go?
No. The song?
3.
Is it? No, wait. First let everyone say no. That's all.
Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to the 71st Yom Ha'atzmaut celebration!
We are so excited to join millions of Jews who are celebrating the wonderful miracle of coming back home to our homeland and having a state of our own.
71 years ago, David Ben-Gurion stood in the house of Meir and Zina Dizengoff and said these famous words.
אנו מכריזים בזאת על הקמת מדינה יהודית בארץ ישראל. היא מדינת ישראל.
That was the original recording from 1948 said by the very first president of Israel.
Well, actually, Ben-Gurion wasn't the president. He was the prime minister. The president was... Actually, who was the president on the first Yom Ha'atzmaut?
Alexa, who was the president during the first Yom Ha'atzmaut?
There wasn't. The state was too young. But since then, Israel had 10 presidents. Here's a message from the current president of Israel, President Reuven Rivlin.
And around the world, happy Independence Day. Chag Sameach. Israel is 71 years old. Who would have believed 71 years ago that we would build cities from the swamps? Imagine then the wonder that is the state of Israel. We came from the four corners of the earth, from Europe and from Jerusalem, from North Africa and from Sfat, from Yemen and from South America, to build a home here. All of us together, including the Jewish communities around the world, have built this wonder. And as it's written, this is exceedingly good land. My dear friends, when I was a boy, we were not allowed to fly our flag. But I dreamt, along with my friend, that one day I would see it flying in Jerusalem. Today, the Israeli flag flies everywhere, and even visited space recently. You know, Amos Oz, my school friend from Jerusalem, who recently left us, reduced all the commandments to one. Do not cause pain. This year, may we all try harder not to cause pain. Israeli society needs it. We all need it. My friends, let me finish with a prayer and a wish for our country to go with it for at least another 71 years. עושה שלום ממרומיו. הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. Happy Independence Day to all of you and to Israel. Let me say to you in Hebrew, חג עצמאות שמח.
Having a Jewish state was a 2,000-year-old dream Jews all over the world had. And since 1948, that dream has come true. The state of Israel is the fulfillment of what they were hoping for.
You know, in the beginning it wasn't clear if Israel was actually going to succeed. There were so many challenges: wars, financial difficulties, and hardest of all, creating one united society from Jews who came from so many places with so many different backgrounds. But today, Israel is one of the greatest places in the world. Even Jews that don't live in Israel can go visit whenever they want.
Wow, this has been an amazing trip. I love Israel, but I think it's time to go back to America.
Yeah, I'm at Starbucks.
Well, do you know how to get to the airport?
No, but I could ask him.
Wait, let me just take a picture really fast.
All right. Excuse me, do you know where Ben Gurion is?
You know, the airport.
Excuse me, do you know where the airport is?
You know, Ben Gurion.
Are you looking for me?
No, we're looking for the airport.
Ben Gurion?
Well, I'm Ben Gurion.
David Ben Gurion?
David who?
You know, he's the guy that went.
אנו מכריזים בזאת על הקמת מדינה יהודית בארץ ישראל. היא מדינת ישראל.
That sounds really good. Might use that in a speech one day. Anyway, why are you guys looking for me?
Oh, no, we're not looking for you. We're looking for the shortest way to the airport.
The airport?
You know, Ben Gurion Airport is one of the most famous airports in all of Israel. Travelers come through it to Israel from all over the world.
Wait, people coming to Israel? Are they coming to join the Haganah? To build a kibbutz? To dry the swamps? There are a lot of things we need to do if we want to build a nation.
Tomorrow?
David, we're talking about history, buddy. In the 71 years of Israel's existence, it has become a nation with a thriving economy, scientific technology advances, cherry tomatoes, the Iron Dome, and we made it to the moon. We almost made it to the moon. We were so close there. And we've done so many other things that are, yeah.
What's a cherry tomato?
Oh, it's like a tomato, you know, the best fruit in the world, just it's smaller.
What's so good about it being small?
Well, I don't know that, come on. But like Israel, it's good things come in small packages.
You know, 'cause smaller is always better.
I guess wanting to start a state wasn't such a bad idea after all. I was deciding between that and becoming a hairstylist, but...
Yeah, you made the right choice there, buddy.
Well, we gotta go so we don't miss our flight, but you're more than welcome to stay and watch the 4th grade dance.
Is it prime cut beef?
ארץ שמיים וים, פרח במדבר, זית חיטה שעורה וגם דבש, רימון תאנה ותמר. היום יום הולדת בחג, לארץ אבותיי, בהורה סוחפת נצא במחול, ויחד נשיר עתידיי. סובו מעגלים, שירו להילולים, מזו חוגגת בעין שנים, ישראל שלי, הדליקו האור, שירו בכיכרות, הניחו למעלה את כל הדגלים, ישראל שלי. שבנו אלייך לכאן, מקצווי תבל, באנו לבנות בחולי בנות ארץ ישראל. דגל כחול ולבן, מגן דוד סמלך, ירושלים בירה לעולם, נזר שטוב לראשך. סובו מעגלים, שירו להילולים, מי זאת חוגגת בעין שנים, ישראל שלי. הדליקו האורות, שירו בכיכרות, הניפו למעלה את כל הדגלים, ישראל שלי. סובו מעגלים, שירו להילולים, מי זו חוגגת בעין שנים, ישראל שלי. הדליקו האורות, שירו בכיכרות, הניפו למעלה את כל הדגלים, ישראל שלי.
That was awesome. Thank you so much, fourth graders.
I don't care if I start laughing on stage.
Every year we celebrate Yom Ha'atzmaut at Berman, and even though we are thousands of miles away, we feel close to Medinat Yisrael. But this year the feeling is different because we had the incredible opportunity to go on the mission and be in Israel. 211 of us spent 10 days in Israel, touring, learning, doing chesed, connecting, and celebrating.
All thanks to the tremendous generosity of Mr. and Mrs. Denny and Deborah Berman. Thank you so much.
We would like to welcome Mr. and Mrs. Berman to receive a thank you gift from the upper school students.
Thank you so much. Gabby, what was your highlight from the mission?
I'm debating between riding camels on the side of the road and joining that wedding in the hotel in Jerusalem. What was yours?
I'm debating between swimming in the Dead Sea and meeting with the Tanaim in the Talmudic village in Katsarin.
What meeting?
Come, see for yourself.
What's my last line? What's...
trying to make even more difficult for us.
It can't be the Romans. They're wearing kippot.
All right. What are those languages? Is it Aramaic?
I certainly hope not. It is way too difficult of a language.
Yeah. סליחה, מי אתם?
אנחנו מהמישן.
מה?
New mission! You know, we come every 4 years with our high school.
And the Romans just let your boat in.
The Romans? Oh, they had a flight before us, but we outnumbered them. Who are you guys? Do you live here?
My name is Rabbi Yossi, and this is Rabbi Yehuda Hanassi.
You can call me Mr. President.
Rabbi Yehuda Hanassi? No way. We were just learning about you. Can we take a selfie?
What?
Yeah, let's take a selfie. Be sure to do a like on Facebook.
So, why are you guys here when everybody else is escaping elsewhere?
Escaping? Just last year, there were 4 million tourists who came to visit Israel.
Not just a tour. Some of them are going to be here next year to learn in yeshiva.
That is unbelievable.
This is incredible. I'm actually thinking of compiling the Torah into a book.
We know. We learn it in the kollel room, and we get a Kit Kat. It's a pretty cool book. When's the 7th volume coming out?
Rabbi Yehuda, Rabbi Yossi, the Gula has already started. As we speak, millions of Jews are making Aliyah to Eretz Yisrael.
Yossi, how long have we been sleeping? Maybe we're dreaming!
I don't know. If this is a dream, I never want to wake up.
We need to go. The buses are leaving.
But don't worry, our friends will be back in 4 more years! Woo!
People...
Good luck, guys.
Here we are, on top of the stars. Never thought we'd ever get this far. We live for moments like this. We come alive in moments like this. Here we are, this is a time, like a dream coming alive. We live for moments like this. We come alive in moments like this. Thoughts racing through my head. I try to capture it, but a picture can't hold what a heart is feeling. I just wanna stop the world from spinning, slow it all down for a minute, so that I can take it in. I can take it in. Here we are, on top of the stars. Never thought we'd ever get this far. We live for moments like this. Come alive, moments like this. Here we are, this is a time, like a dream coming alive. We live for moments like this. Come alive, moments like this. Moments like this. I don't wanna close my eyes. I'm feeling so alive. I try to find the words, but no words can say what my heart is feeling. I just wanna stop the world from spinning, slow it all down for a minute, so that I can take it in. I can take it in. Here we are, on top of the stars. Never thought we'd ever get this far. We live for moments like this. Come alive in moments like this. Here we are, this is a time, like a dream coming alive. We live for moments like this. Come alive in moments like this. Everybody, welcome to Jerusalem! my eyes. I'm feeling so alive. I try to find the words, but no words can say what my heart is feeling. I just wanna stop the world from spinning, slow it all down for a minute, so that I can take it in. I can take it in. Here we are, on top of the stars. Never thought we'd ever get this far. We live for moments like this. Come alive in moments like this. Here we are, this is a time. Like a dream coming alive. We live for moments like this. Come alive in moments like this.
בואו נשיר לארץ יפה, ארץ של שמש ואור, זמר סוחף מלא אהבה, הבה נקדיש לה מזמור. בואו נשיר לארץ קטנה, ארץ אלפי שנים, שיר של מילים ומנגינה, חלומות יפים רוקמים. וגם מי שהולך מעבר לים, מנסה לשבת בארץ נכר, משהו בלב מחזירו לכאן, אם לא היום אז אולי מחר. וגם מי שהולך מעבר לים, מנסה לשבת בארץ נכר, משהו בלב מחזירו לכאן, אם לא היום אז אולי מחר.
Just once. Calm down.
That was absolutely amazing. Thank you so much to the 7th graders in Illinois Church for the wonderful Dog Renew.
And thank you to the actors for that amazing skit. Wow, we really have come a long way since being oppressed by the Romans.
There's no doubt that we are witnessing the words of the Nevi'im come true.
You mean the prophecy about the children playing in the streets of Jerusalem?
Yes, but not only that one, also the prophecy about how Israel will be the center of knowledge for other nations.
What do you mean?
I mean, Israel is known all over the world for being a startup nation and for developing technology that literally saves lives. Israel's innovative technology is really changing the world.
Changing the world? Gabby, I know it's Yom Ha'atzmaut and everything, but let's not get carried away here.
I'm totally serious. Israel exports its technology all around the globe in order to help people. Israeli technology can be found in intelligence, in our hospitals, and even in our phones. For example, Innovation Africa.
Innovation Africa? What is that?
Innovation Africa is an Israeli initiative that uses solar energy to provide underdeveloped villages with electricity and water.
Wow, what a Kiddush Hashem! I would like to invite Yakova Mayberg to tell us a little bit about her visit with them in Malawi.
This past February, my entire family traveled to Africa for a week. For 5 months before the trip, Innovation Africa had been building solar-powered water and energy systems in a few towns lacking these basic necessities. Innovation Africa is a nonprofit which installs Israeli solar and water technologies in remote African villages. Since Africa has similar climates and natural resources to Israel, Israeli solar, water, and agricultural technologies are a natural fit for African villages. Innovation Africa connects the dots and brings these technologies across the globe to be used by people in great need. Israeli solar energy used to pump water from below the aquifer, drip irrigation to bring food security to remote villages, and solar power to light up schools and medical centers have in total provided for and changed the lives of 1 million people across Africa. On our trip, we spent 2 days driving on dirt roads and through developing towns to see the completion of the projects we funded in Mangochi, Malawi. Sharing in the celebration, embraces, and pure joy of the people gaining access to clean tap water for the first time in their lives was absolutely invigorating. Something that was particularly memorable to me was visiting a high school in the village that we sponsored. In addition to solar panels that were installed, we also brought them several laptops and Wi-Fi routers. As I was teaching them different functions that they could use on the computer, I thought to show them Google Maps and pointed out Israel in proximity to Africa on the world map. They loved being able to see and conceptualize the state that brought them so much generosity. They knew that though their water is being pumped from the African ground and their solar panels are being activated by the African sun, the real source of their miracle is from Israel. Imagine, kids the age of those of us in Berman got their first experience with clean water this year, thanks to Innovation Africa and thanks to Israel.
Innovation Africa was funded 9 years ago with a very simple mission, which is to bring Israeli solar technologies to transform schools, medical centers, and most importantly, to pump water. We are operating in 7 African countries, and we have so far installed solar technology in over 100 villages. The reason why Africa is still in poverty is because of the lack of energy. Because there is no energy, people are still searching for water because there is no energy to pump water. People do not have access to vaccines and medicines because there is no electricity in medical centers, and because there is no energy, people cannot get good education. And yet, when we look at the sun, there is so much energy, so much potential. And if we could just harness the energy from the sun, we can change it. We've been using solar energy since the creation of Israel. Almost on every building, there are solar panels. And what we are doing at Innovation Africa, it's simply by bringing the same technologies, simple technologies, to make a change here in the villages.
Are you ready to have clean water? Yes!
Thank you for having come from Israel to take us away from the nakedness.
Thank you very much for the clean water.
You are our fathers and mothers from Israel.
Because today Israel is a strong country, because of everything that has been invented, I feel it's our responsibility to help.
Are you ready? Yes! 1, 2, 3, go!
Yom Ha'atzmaut Berman.
That was so amazing. It makes me feel really proud of the state of Israel.
Yes, we are so blessed to live in this generation and be able to see and be a part of this great time in Geula.
Now we are honored to invite our head of school, Rabbi Dr. Yossi Kastan, to the stage.
Thank you first of all to Rav Aaron, the Bachurim, Matanyan, Mirel, Itai, Yalen, Abnot, Sherut, Raut, and Raut. Thank you so much for putting this on tonight. Well beyond tonight, you guys really infuse our school with such a spirit of tzionut. We really appreciate you taking this time away from Israel to be with us and to infuse us with that spirit. So thank you for being here. Thank you to Jennifer Zuckerman, Chana Olson, and the entire staff involved in making tonight possible. And last but certainly not least, thank you to all of the students for the wonderful presentations and celebrations tonight. Honored guests and friends, I love Israel. I have pride in this land, not simply because of where and how it sits, but for what it stands. I invest in this land because the return is the right for every Jew to call it home. I plant on this land not to enhance the landscape today, but to ensure a healthy tomorrow. I tour this land not simply for the hikes and sights, but for the journey that my ancestors traveled. I savor this land not simply for the amazing cuisine, but for the diversity of cultures it embraces and highlights. I honor this land for the ideals it was built upon and the values it continues to represent. I am in awe of this land not simply for the wars it fights and wins, but for the freedom it protects. I pray and learn in this land not only because of the opportunities abound to do so in yeshivot and seminaries, but because it is the home of our mikdash and it's where I feel closest to Hashem's Shekhinah. I call this land home, not because I've lived there, and not because of how many times I may visit, but simply because I am a Jew. I love Israel because it gives me reason for hope and permission to dream. It instills confidence in me to stand up for what I believe no matter how hard it gets, to take risks, and when I don't succeed, to dust myself off and try again. It gives me strength and resilience by showing me that there are things worth fighting for. It teaches me that writing our own narrative is more important than what people may say, It provides a sense of belonging and peoplehood with a common language and purpose. It teaches me to live for today, not because there's no time like the present, but because it serves as the link between our past and our future. It highlights that memory is stronger than history, and that our memory is the thing that sustains us. I love this land because it's more than a country, it's a home. And a home reminds us of who we are and challenges us to work towards who we want to be. I love Israel because it's not a nationality, it's an identity. I love Israel. These are my connections and emotions, and each one of you sitting here tonight has your own unique connections and emotions for Israel. And tonight, together, we get to honor the men and women who have laid the groundwork, who have sowed the roots and planted the seeds, and who have fought for this land. Tonight, we get together as a Berman community to celebrate Israel, not because it's words in our mission statement or part of our curriculum, but because Berman is Israel, and Israel is Berman. Look around. Look around, because tonight is the highlight of the year. Not because it's the night of the year where we all get together to fill up an auditorium, but because tonight we celebrate our shared heritage and our shared identity. We are Berman, and we love Israel. Chag Sameach.
Thank you, Rabbi Dr. Kastan.
And now I think it's time to conclude our Tekes.
But first, some thank yous.
Of course. We would like to thank all of those who helped make tonight's program possible. Thank you to Jennifer Zuckerman, Hannah Olson, and Miriam Zoggy for all their help and guidance.
Thank you to all the teachers and students that helped with tonight's program. A special thank you to Panina Deichman, Donnie Schwartz, and Gila Gershman for the wonderful flash mob, and to Kobe Goldschlag and the tech group for all his help with the tech. Also, thank you to Rabbi Trencher and Mrs. Hanloff.
And of course, thank you to Torah Mitzion Bachurim, Matanya, Ayal, Itai, and Irel, and to the Benoche Root, Rayu, and Rayu. And the most special thank you to Rob Rome for putting countless amount of hours to make this night possible.
And now, please rise for the singing of Hatikva. We'll see whichever one.
הנס שלי תשלח לי את הנס שלי יש ניסים כל הזמן, אני פה תחזור לטובה אסור לך להתייאש, רק תמשיך לפתש תשמור את התקווה בדיוק בן אדם, יש ניסים כל הזמן, אני פה תחזור לטובה אסור לך להתייאש, רק תמשיך לפתש תשמור את התקווה והוא בורא עולם, הכוח של כולם, שומע את קולי. אני מאמין בניסים, אני יודע שיש אלוקים, והוא בורא עולם, הכוח של כולם, ישלח לי את הנס, ישלח לי את הנס שלי. שלח לי את הנס שלי.
Please join us in the Beit Midrash for a festive morrow, followed by light refreshments, music, and dancing.
שמעתי שעושים פה מסיבה בלעדיי, אף אחד לא עושה את זה יותר טוב ממני.